Best broiler chicken farming practices that triple farm income. This is a complete guide to sustainable high-yield poultry farming. Your journey into poultry farming success starts here. Welcome aspiring and established poultry farmers. If you've been searching for a proven pathway to transform your broiler chicken farming operation from barely breaking even to generating substantial profits, you have come to the right place. Today, we are going to unveil the comprehensive strategies, techniques, and insider secrets that successful poultry farmers use to dramatically increase their income while reducing operational costs and building sustainable farming enterprises. The poultry industry is one of the fastest growing and most profitable sectors in agriculture worldwide, with the global broiler production exceeding 100 million metric tons annually. The demand for chicken meat continues to rise as populations grow and consumers increasingly prefer affordable, high-quality protein sources. This presents an enormous opportunity for farmers who are willing to implement best practices and commit to excellence in their operations. But here is the truth that separates struggling farmers from thriving ones. Success in broiler farming isn't about luck. It is about knowledge, strategy, and consistent execution of proven principles. Many farmers start with high hopes but quickly become discouraged when they face challenges like high mortality rates, poor growth performance, disease outbreaks, and thin profit margins. They watch their investments disappear as birds die, feed costs skyrocket, and market prices fluctuate. They work tirelessly yet see minimal returns. But it doesn't have to be this way. The difference between farmers who barely survive and those who thrive isn't the size of their operation or the amount of capital they started with. It is the implementation of scientific, systematic best practices that optimize every aspect to the production cycle. In this comprehensive guide, we are going to walk through every critical component of successful broiler farming, from site selection and housing design to nutrition management, disease prevention, and marketing strategies. We will explore how integrating sustainable disease prevention and marketing strategies can accelerate our productivity. We will explore how integrating sustainable practices not only improves your bottom line, but also builds long-term resilience into your farming business. You will discover specific, actionable techniques that can reduce mortality rates from 8 to 10, from between 8 to 10 down to 2 to 3%. Improve feed conversion rates by 15 to 20%. Accelerate growth rates to achieve market weight 5 to 7 days earlier, and ultimately increase your net profit margin by 200 to 300%. These aren't theoretical concepts. These are field-tested practices that have transformed thousands of struggling poultry operations into profitable enterprises. Whether you are planning to start your first broiler flock or you are an experienced farmer looking to scale up and optimize your existing operation, this guide will provide you with the roadmap you need. We will cover everything from the fundamentals to advanced techniques, complete with troubleshooting guides for common challenges. By the end of this presentation, you will have a clear understanding of what it takes to build a highly profitable broiler farming business that generates consistent income, creates employment opportunities in your community, and contributes to food security in your region. So grab your notebook, get ready to learn, and prepare to transform your approach to poultry farming. Your journey to triple your farm income starts right now. Let's dive in. Here is the complete framework for profitable broiler farming. Number 1, strategic planning and site selection. Understanding the foundation of success. Before you purchase your first chick or construct your first poultry house, you must understand that successful broiler farming begins with strategic planning and proper site selection. This foundational phrase determines whether your operation will struggle with preventable problems or operate smoothly with minimal challenges. Many farmers skip this crucial step, eager to get birds on the ground, only to discover later that their location creates insurmountable obstacles. Let's ensure you don't make that costly mistake. When selecting your farm site, you need to consider multiple factors that will impact your operation's success. First and foremost is accessibility. Your farm must be easily accessible via good roads throughout the year because you will need to transport feed, supplies, and market-ready birds regularly. However, your farm should always be located away from residential areas, ideally at least 500 meters from homes, to minimize compliance about odor and noise while also reducing disease transmission risk from human traffic. The site should have reliable access to clean water, as broilers consume approximately twice as much water as feed, and water quality directly impacts bird health and growth performance. You will need either reliable multiple water supply or a clean borehole that can provide sufficient volume for your operation. Proper drainage is absolutely critical and often overlooked by beginning farmers. Your site must be on slightly elevated ground with natural drainage to prevent water accumulation during rainy seasons. Standing water creates ideal breeding grounds for disease-causing organisms and parasites, and it makes facility maintenance difficult. The land should have a gentle slope. About 2 to 3 degrees is ideal to ensure water flows away from your poultry houses. Additionally, consider the direction of prevailing winds in your areas. Position your poultry houses so that the long axis runs perpendicular to prevailing winds to maximize natural ventilation, which is essential for temperature control and ammonia removal. Proximity to your market and suppliers is another crucial consideration that directly impacts your profitability. Therefore, calculate the distance to your feed supplier, veterinary services, and primary markets. Transportation costs can quickly erode your profits. So being within reasonable distance of these essential services and markets is important. However, balance this with biosecurity requirements of being away from other poultry farms. Ideally, maintain at least 1 to 2 kilometers distance from other commercial poultry operations to reduce disease transmission risks. Through airborne particles, wild birds, and shared vectors, creating your business plan and financial projections. How can you do this? Many farmers jump into broiler production without a detailed business plan, relying on optimizing optimism rather than realistic financial projections. This approach is a recipe for failure. You must create a comprehensive business plan that outlines your production system, target market, financial requirements, and projected returns. Start by determining your production scale. Will you start with 500 birds, 1,000 birds, or 5,000 birds per cycle? Your decision should be based on available capital, market demand in your area, and your ability to manage the operation. Remember, it is better to start smaller and succeed than to overextend yourself and fail. Therefore, calculate your startup costs meticulously. These include land preparation, poultry house construction, equipment purchase, feeders, drinkers, heating systems, and lighting. Initial check purchase, feeds, medications, and a contingency fund for unexpected expenses. For 1,000 bird operation, expect startup costs ranging from $8,000 and $15,000 to $15,000 depending on your location and the quality of facilities you construct. Then project your operation costs per cycle, including day-old chicks. Their feeds, which typically represents 65 to 70% of total production costs. Veterinary supplies, labor, utilities, and transportation. Compare these costs against expected revenue based on current market prices for broilers in your area and calculate your break-even point and projected profit margins. A crucial aspect of financial planning is understanding your cash flow cycle. Broiler farming requires significant upfront capital investment, and you won't see returns until birds are sold at 5 to 7 weeks of age. You must have sufficient working capital to cover at least 1.5 production cycles without relying on revenue from the first cycle, as delays in paying from buyers or unexpected challenges can strain your finances. Many failed poultry operations can trace their demise to cash flow problems rather than technical farming issues. Therefore, plan for success by ensuring you have adequate financial buffers. Part 2, Section 2, Housing Design and Environmental Management.